Live again for you on a Thursday evening, ready to talk about the Ohio State Buckeyes football and tonight a little bit of basketball too. Chris Holtmann, as we know, got fired. He got let go. Things are different in Buckeye basketball fandom and in Buckeye basketball world, so we'll talk about that. But first of all, let's talk about new offensive coordinator hired Chip Kelly. What do you think about Chip Kelly and his addition? What he means to the Ohio State Buckeye staff and crew?
You know, I thought I was really excited about Bill O'Brien, but I'm really excited about Chip Kelly. I think he's got a lot to bring. He's going to bring back that dynamite offense that we saw at the early 2010s in Oregon. We're going to see 400 yards per game, 40 plus points. We're going to see over 200 yards on the ground, especially with the two backs they have. They're going to have the best backfield in the nation. And you know what? Kelly's great at working that. Like, he's a mastermind. I
You
mean, I,
think
I heard that, like, back when he was with Oregon, like, all these coaches would pick it, even Saban, they pick at his brain. They pick at his brain to see how they can utilize their weapons the best. So
No, you're right
I
about
think
that.
I think he's going to bring a lot to the offense, and I think they're going to be back right on top.
So you think they're going to lead the nation in yards and points per
Oh
game?
yeah, definitely. There no doubt with the weapons that they have, with the weapons that they
With
have,
Abuka
and
coming
they
back, Henderson, Quinton Judkins, all them boys coming back, man, they're
the
gonna be
Mac
ferocious, dude.
back. I mean, it's gonna be a dynamite offense, man. I'm really excited to see it. Again, I thought I was excited for Bill O'Brien, but the Chip Kelly thing. I mean, if you look at his UCLA days, to me that's an outlier, man. I mean, there is a big difference between Oregon and UCLA in terms of talent wise. So
Some might say, yeah, but Oregon was a decade and a half ago now for Chip Kelly. What would you say to that?
man, I would say that maybe he needs to refamiliarize himself with today's how today's offenses are played and adjust to that. But other than that, I think he's a great offensive mind.
Well, I think the thing his offensive genius didn't just go away, just like it didn't go away for Urban Meyer. Some people started to figure it out a little bit. People started to maybe be able to prepare for him in conference, but out of conference, he was dynamite. So it'd be interesting to see what Chip Kelly brings to the table. I think he's a fantastic hire. I really do. I truthfully do, and
Yeah,
I
I'm not.
think he's a great offensive mind even still.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at those UCLA numbers. I mean,
Yeah,
he won one season where their offense was top five. Other than that, I mean, I don't even think they cracked the top 50. But again, like, you got to look at the talent he had to work with. I mean, he had like
there's a talent difference at Oregon and UCLA, and especially it'd be a jump up at Ohio State and what he's able to put on the field with our offenses. Will Howard going to lead the way most likely? Not going to be Devin Brown. Be likely Will Howard leading the offense for Ohio State. He's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders because
yeah.
a lot of people are saying, Michigan fans are saying it's natty or bust for Ohio State. And I just don't agree to that. I don't agree with that. Oh yeah, Ohio State's definitely built to do something wild this year, something crazy. I think good things are ahead for the Buckeye offense, especially. But with Jim Knowles leading the way on defense, it's a special season on tap for Ohio State. It really is, Ben. So
I'm gonna make a prediction. They're gonna be the first ever team to go 16, 17, and 0, and they're gonna break Michigan's record in terms of players invited to the combine. I'm calling it right now. I'm
calling it right now.
calling
Call your shot, brother.
it. I'm doing it. I think it's gonna happen. I really
Let the
do.
people know how you really feel.
Like, let the people know. No, man. I mean, like, they reloaded the clip times 10. I
Super
mean,
seniors. Of course,
crazy.
they had the record invite.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think that they're gonna do something really special. Again, first team to go 16-0, 17-0. They're going to the national championship. They're gonna break Michigan's record of more than 18 players have already the combine, and they're gonna break the record of players drafting in the first round and the overall draft.
Dang, bro. Bro is
That's
calling his shot and he's making it known who he supports. I think 14 was the most ever drafted by the Buckeyes, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2015, after a year after our title winning season, when they were super sophomores that became juniors. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the record
Yeah.
for the Buckeyes, that is.
I mean, some would say that they would have came close to tying Michigan this year. Imagine what's going to
Yeah.
happen
No,
after the
no
2024
kidding, bro.
season.
No
It's
kidding.
going
Come
to
on,
be
man.
going to be ridiculous, man.
You have lots of players get drafted from the Ohio State Buckeyes next year, and like you said, it very well could set a record. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Combine invites, yeah, it's going to explode. It'll be 20. It'll be 20 next year for the Buckeyes. So, what kind of offense do you think Chip Kelly's going to bring to Ohio State? Do you think he'll bring the ground and pound back to the Buckeye offense?
Depends. I mean, wide receivers are always their strengths. We got to see what they yet have to work with the offensive line. I mean, that's
Well, that's a
that's gonna
big
be
thing, man.
that's gonna be a key factor, man. I mean, is Fry gonna have the line prepared or is he not? If he's not, then I mean I could see it being a wasted season with those two backs. But
It could
if he's
too.
if he's got them prepared, I expect this. I think it's gonna be ground and pound. I mean,
They
two
scheme up.
again, two of the most talented backs in college football. I don't care what anyone says. That's going to be the most. It's going to be the most talented backfield. Then it's going to be Penn State is number two. So
And then, yeah, maybe Georgia at number three or somebody else.
yeah,
And Bama maybe at three. But yeah, the Buckeyes with Henderson and Judkins and Dallin Hayden. Throw him in the loop too, man. It's gonna be
I think dude,
phenomenal.
I think he's gonna transfer, dude.
You think Hayden's gone?
I think
He's
he's
still a
gone.
young buck, but it's very possible he could leave. It's that's very likely
I
now
mean,
that
man,
Judkins and Henderson came back.
he's been waiting his turn, dude. I just think Hayden's gone. I mean, there was word he
Okay.
was gonna where he was gonna go, Kentucky.
There's rumors about Kentucky, maybe Louisville, something like that. So we'll see
Yeah,
what happens with the Buckeyes and what they go. But
I
what
mean,
do you
these
think
young
about
guys
Michigan's
don't
hire,
get me
Wink
wrong, man.
Martindale? What do you think of Wink Martindale and their hire at Michigan from the Giants?
At first I was like, oh man, they got a guy from the NFL. They're following the
Yeah,
blueprint that's already been made. But then I started looking at his resume. So the longest stints he's had has been as a position coach. But as soon as he gets that promotion to defensive coordinator, we're only looking at 2 years tops of Denver Broncos, the Baltimore Ravens.
yeah.
I
No,
mean,
he is a Baltimore Ravens disciple, and he
yeah.
apparently mentored McDonald and Minter and all these guys, right? But we know that that he's not he hasn't been successful himself at the
It
Giants.
only lasted what 1 or 2 years, and he
Yeah,
couldn't get into a top 10 defense. I think he finished
exactly.
uh top 20 that year. He was finished like 18th. So I don't
And
know.
that's in the NFL, 32.
He his skills don't transition to the pros, and he'll be better for college. But as of right now, I'm just not buying into him. I'm
Okay,
not.
I got you. And that's fair, man. That's understandable. So, who do you think wins the battle between Chip Kelly and Wink Martindale? The chess battle, the chess pieces moving around on offense and scheming up against one another.
Oh, Chip Kelly's one of the best offensive minds. I think it's gonna be Chip Kelly's gonna win that battle.
Chip Kelly's going to win that thing, man. He's going to win that thing for Ohio State and Columbus, man. What do you think about Day hiring someone who was his mentor? Like Chip Kelly was Day's coach at New Hampshire, all the way back to New Hampshire. And then you're talking to the Philly Eagles in the NFL, and of course, the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL before he came to Ohio State. What do you think of that as a move?
I mean, I think it's a great move. I mean, chemistry is everything. They've worked together for quite some time. They
Yeah.
understand each other. There's history there. I mean, so I don't think there's gonna be like this ego issue. I think they're gonna be level
Yeah.
headed and they're gonna
Chip's
work better
Chip's
together.
gonna be able to talk today like a father to kind of like to a son and be like, "Listen, this is what needs to change. I see these things that need to happen. I want to correct these things. I want to help you get these things fixed so you can beat Michigan, get that monkey off your back again. You beat him the first time, and you would have beat him the second time if you had the opportunity in 2020, but you weren't given the opportunity. So Chip Kelly coming in, I think it's a great hire. I think it's a wonderful hire. and I think it's one that's gonna propel Ohio State to the next level. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
see what happens, though. Of
I
course,
think they're primed to have the number one offense of the nation. I really do. I think so. I'm calling right now, man. I know I'm making a lot of bold predictions, but dude, like
you are. You
you
are.
gotta look at the talent. A great coach, a great offensive mind that actually has someone to work with. I mean, that's dangerous. That's
And you've
dangerous.
got the talent that Ohio State has to offer year in year out.
Yeah.
Ohio State's not rebuilding; they're reloading, and they're firing up for quite a year ahead of 2024. In fact, many projections have them ranked the number two team entering the season. Georgia, of course, being the team that's ranked number one to enter the season. Oregon coming in at number three, but the Buckeyes are going to be formidable, and people. I don't think people will take them lightly, but people need to understand that this Buckeye team is coming for everything next year. Come from Michigan first and foremost. First and foremost, Michigan, we're coming for you. Second, we're going into Indy and we're coming to win the championship and then get that bye in the playoffs. That's what we're headed for.
Yeah.
So just be
Here's
prepared.
here's the thing. I know the bar is raised really high for Ryan Day, but
It
I
is.
think, and this is another bold prediction. I think if he loses to Michigan but wins the Natty, I think I'll be forgiven. I really do. I mean, at the end of the day, I think yes, the game means a lot to the state of Ohio. I get that it's the game, but at the end of the day, I think the Buckeye faithful they really want a Natty. I
Well,
really
we
do.
almost got that scenario in 2022. We got stomped in the horseshoe by the Wolverines and then
Yeah.
almost beat Georgia. Should have been Georgia.
Yeah, I mean that's just my prediction. The bar is set really high, but let's say A is Michigan, B is the Big Ten championship, and C is the national championship. If he completes C, and but doesn't complete A, I think all will be forgiven.
I think it'd be a successful season in Columbus. And
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's a national championship, the ultimate goal, the ultimate prize. What else can be attained besides that and above that? Nothing.
Yeah,
So you're right. I think you're right.
and
You cheer for this.
and here's the other thing too. I think that since there's a 12-team playoff and you know, there's
Mhm.
the game is probably going to lose emphasis. I know it's the game and it means a lot of
It's gonna
Ohio,
lose a little
but
bit. It's gonna lose a little luster.
yeah, it's yeah, there's not going to be that much at stake. I mean, yeah, bragging rights, but I mean, the last 2 years there were playoff implications, a trip to Indy implications. Now it's just like, okay, you lose, we may see you next week, but we're still going to make the playoffs. I mean, there's not
Yeah,
that.
I mean, they always used to be Big Ten championship or bust, Natty or bust. For a
Ole
bunch
Miss
of people,
Natty, Colin, I'm sorry, I'm not too sold on the Lane Kiffin. I'm
yeah.
I'm just I'm
Especially
just
losing
not
Judkins like he
like
did. Yeah,
yeah,
they're gonna
I'm
be a
just
top
not,
10
man.
team. Don't get it twisted.
He's salty. He's still salty about Judkins. Like
He might be
spent
a
all
little bit.
that time out in the rain, wind, and storm,
$13 million for
scouting
Ohio
him.
State. Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not buying it, man. I mean, for he's has trouble getting past Bama. Then it's LSU. It's always some team that he has trouble getting over the hump.
He can't. He can't. Yeah.
I just
Agreed. Agreed. I don't buy into his hype as a dominant coach. I
I
think
get
Ole Miss
that.
is going to be a really good team. They got the quarterback returning, of course, Jackson Dart, but they're not going to be a serious national title contender. They might even make the playoffs. Ole Miss might. They might, but
Yeah. I
I'm
can
going
see
to go ahead and say
Ole
probably
Miss
not.
making the playoffs, but along the lines, Lane Kiffin always lays an egg.
They always
I
lay
get
the
that
number.
he's a Saban
True.
disciple, but not all Saban disciples are Kirby Smart, so
Yep. No, that's a good point, man. That's a good point.
it's not gonna happen.
So, moving on to the next topic, James Laurinaitis was promoted. He's our linebacker coach now. Promotion that's well deserved. And then we also got Tim Wlton. He was named associate head coach today. What do you think of these new Buckeye moves that the coaching staff is getting shaken up a little bit? What do you think about it?
I'm really excited about the James Laurinitis move, and here's why. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, we've had I mean, other than C.J. Hicks, we've had trouble landing those top notch linebackers. The
Yeah.
linebackers that Jim Knowles wants
Difference
that are
makers.
gonna adapt to his defense. I mean, he's it seems like that defense is really linebacker oriented as well as much as it is safety.
Well, a
You
lot of
know,
blitzers.
be able to
Yeah.
get
A lot of
those high
blitzers coming
profile
in.
linebackers flying around, get to the ball, being able to drop back in the pass coverage. Which you know what, I Tommy Eichenberg and Steel Chambers, they got killed by Colston dropping back in
Wlton. Yeah. They
pass
did.
coverage. So I mean, I remember there was this high profile recruit who didn't end up committing, but he was just blown away by James Laurinaitis's resume. I
Well,
mean,
that's the
you had
thing.
the
Laurinitis,
NFL, the
first of all,
WWE. He was saying it was something out of a movie. So I just I think
yeah,
it's really gonna help with recruiting. It seems like Laurinaitis is a charismatic human being. I
he's
mean,
very charismatic.
yeah,
And here's the thing I want to add. He's a three-time All-American at Ohio State. He's the all-time leader in St. Louis Rams / LA Rams history for tackles leader in franchise history, and he's a charismatic individual. He's got the resume, he's got the personality to recruit an elite level like the Brian Hartlines and Tim Waltons at Ohio State, and Larry Johnson for that matter. To recruit at a high level, I think the Buckeyes are going to do that. They're going to continue to do that linebacker, and they'll kind of bring back the notion that Ohio State is linebacker U again. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think you're right. We're gonna get back to getting like AJ Hawk, Bobby Carpenter,
Yeah,
Raekwon McMillan,
Darren
uh,
Lee, Ryan Shazier.
yeah, Darren Lee, Ryan Shazier. I mean, we just got to get back to getting those types of players. The silver bullets in that area.
Make the silver bullets again, man. Make them lethal again. That's what I'm saying. So,
What do you mean? What is this? Elaborate, Landon.
oh man, he's being funny out there. But yeah, no. So anyway, Laurinaitis promoted, Tim Walton promoted to associate head coach. Is he a guy that you could potentially see leading the program in the future?
Tim Walton.
Yeah,
So what we know about him right now is he is an ace recruiter. Obviously,
ace.
he's built that identity. He's able to develop cornerbacks. But here's the thing, though: just because you're an ace recruiter, just because you're a good position coach, doesn't mean that's going to transition to be able to get to
Yeah,
being
he's just a
defensive
position coach
coordinator
right now.
or the head coach. I mean, I'm gonna want to see more than just that.
Oh, with a whole lot more. I mean, he's got to have. Eventually, I would like to see him become defensive coordinator if that's possible. Jim Knowles moves on. He needs more responsibility before he can just move him from position coach to head coach. Like that's quite a tall task and quite a tall order for someone requesting the head coach position at the Ohio State University Buckeyes. So I'd
Honestly,
like to see a
like
lot more
I
too.
I haven't seen like one coach who, let's say that day just takes off for the NFL, and we need to hire someone internally right away. I'm not too sold on the coaches we have. They're great where they need to be, but I just don't know if any of them would be able to take that next step. Who
Take
do
the
you think
next
would be
step.
able to take that? Who do you
Kind of
think
like
would be able to take the next
they
step?
think Shawn Moore will be able to do for Michigan. I'm still not sold on that hire, and I'm not encouraged. Well, I'm encouraged from a Buckeye perspective. I think Michigan won't be so pleased with their hire 3 to 4 years from now. But time will tell who's right and who's wrong.
But who
Moving
do
on
you
to a little bit of
who do you
yeah.
see being able to let's say days let's say day bolts for the NFL, which I predicted that after the Buckeyes win the national
Yeah.
championship in 2024, which I really think is gonna happen. I think Day's gonna bolt for the NFL. Who do you think is gonna be who do you think would be ready to step up if they need to hire internally?
Someone that's on the staff, man.
Yeah. Someone who's on the staff, dude.
I mean, we just talked about position coaches not being ready, but maybe
Yeah,
Brian Hartline.
yeah, maybe. I mean, they didn't even trust him to call plays.
He didn't. That's true. So
No,
maybe
man.
not because he's
I
not
don't think
even
anybody's
a
ready.
play caller.
I think they would be
Go
looking
from wide
elsewhere.
receiver coach / co-offensive coordinator back to wide receiver coach to head coach. Now that'd be quite the transition, man. That'd be wild.
Yeah,
That would be
that'd be
wild.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to a little bit of basketball news. We know Chris Holtmann is got fired from the program, And we know we're looking at a couple of options here. We're looking at Greg McDermott from Creighton. We're looking at guys like the South Carolina coach. We're looking at Thad Matta again at Butler. We're looking at guys like that. This basketball program is not what it used to be, not what it was growing up. What do you think needs to change? And what do you think? Who should we go after for a hire for head coach of the basketball program now?
Honestly, from watching Holtmann over the years, I think that they lack culture. Seems like they didn't have a strong locker room. I mean, after them
Interesting.
fall on the road multiple times over and over again, just those second half collapses, just completely
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing. I
Two
just
this
think
year,
that
the
that
18-point
coach,
losses.
I think he lost the locker room. I think he lost the players. Just
Here's the
everything.
thing. I think players really like Chris Holtmann. I personally really like Chris Holtmann, the man. The coach is just not good, man. He does not have that tenacity, I think, that's required to coach at Ohio State. He had the recruiting knack for sure. Like the recruiting is what saved him, honestly. The high recruiting classes, but then he could never develop them. I mean, it's just been frustrating to watch, man. Ohio State fall to the dreads, the dreadful position that they're in, and I'd like to see them rise back up. I mean, we went to the Final Four in 2006, lost to Florida. Went to a Final Four in 2012, lost to Kansas in the semifinal. Evan Turner, National Player of the Year. I mean, these are things we expect. 4 Big Ten championships on Armada, 5 Big Ten tournament championships on Armada. We expect these things as Buckeye fans. Maybe we should, maybe we shouldn't. But either way, the case is, a lot of people still do care about Ohio State men's basketball, even though football is king on campus and in Columbus.
Right.
But and that's very clear, and that'll never change. But Ohio State basketball used to be something I look forward to, and now it's something I dread. I don't even tune in half the time anymore. So,
I just remember watching them. Who were they play at on the road? Northwestern. They ended up losing by 40. That was just like a
yeah, bro, complete
complete
clown
joke.
show, man.
Yeah.
Complete clown show. I don't know who that is, but fair enough. Fair enough. But I know. Parson from South Carolina is an option. Mott is an option. Greg McDermott's an option.
People were
Um,
so look.
Jay Wright,
Hear me
maybe
out
even.
on this. Hear me out on this, okay?
All right, what you got?
And I hope we don't. I hope we don't lose viewers after this or subscribers.
Yeah.
We hired Urban Meyer. He had some character issues, obviously.
Uh huh.
Fans are calling for Rick Pitino. Fans
I
are
know.
calling for Rick
I did
Pitino to
kind of
become
see
coach.
that a little
I
bit.
know that
That's
he has
really
character
interesting.
issues, but he wins.
Massive character issues. He won at Louisville and beat Michigan, so that's always a good thing for Ohio State fans, to see and to have in the back pocket. Beating Michigan is important, not just in football, but in every sport. Um, I know most people just care about football, but me personally, I care about every sport. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see who they go after, man. The floodgates are open. Jake Diebler is the coach for the remainder of the season. I did not think Gene Smith would make this firing. I really didn't think he'd make this firing because, um, he had a couple months left on his contract. I didn't think he'd want to make a firing of one of his close friends. Like Chris has become one of his close friends, honestly, and so I respect him a lot more for making this hire. Actually, so phenomenal, phenomenal and needed move, necessary move to get the Buckeye basketball program back to where it deserves and back to where it belongs. So, interesting hire there. But moving along to the next segment. Enough about Buckeye basketball for now. Mainly football channel here, but
Maybe
your champ and your chump of the week. Who might they be this week, brother?
let's not get there quite yet. I wanna talk about how far the bar has been set for Ryan Day. I mean,
Ooh, interesting.
haven't talked
All
about.
right, go for it, brother.
All right, so end of the 2023 season, lost to Michigan, embarrassing loss to Missouri in the bowl game. Only scored 3 points. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you could have drove a truck through that depleted O line.
Insensitive.
They were literally like close to zero passing yards. It was embarrassing. And then
Shocking too.
Ryan Day doesn't say a word for quite some times. The way he's making noise is NIL, the transfer portal, recruiting,
Yeah.
coaching hires, and
Thanks for joining in, Ben.
and convincing a good amount of the seniors to come back to reload to
Yeah.
be all for 2024. I think the bar is set really high for him. This could, in some people's eyes, this could be the final season. This could be it if he doesn't get A, B, and C done. A is beat Michigan, B is win the Big Ten championship, and C is go on to run the playoffs and win the Natty. I'm sorry. There's no reason that he can't do it.
So you're
He's got
saying that your bust?
all the resource. Yes, it is a natty or bust. There is no reason at all. This dude
Ooh.
is on fire. If
Ooh.
he doesn't deliver, he's gonna have to get off the seat, man.
I don't subscribe to that as much as you might right now. I subscribe to beat Michigan, win the Big Ten, and get a top 4 seed, make the natty. I don't say natty or bust
All right,
ever.
I just look. I can't, dude. There's too much talent.
There's a lot of talent
Uh,
on the squad.
there's just too much on the line. I used to say this watching Michigan with Jim Harbaugh
Hmm.
back in 2016 when they lost to Ohio State. The
Yeah,
I'm like, this was
it's
Harbaugh's
ice.
year to get the Big Ten, make the playoffs, and possibly win the championship. Like, this is Ryan Day's best year. This is a very talented roster. We're talking about 5-star upon 5-star,
Right.
first on first rounder. There's no excuses. There's none. If he
There
can't
isn't. And there's nowhere to hide. True, if he doesn't even make the
get
natty game,
out
like
of
that would be inexcusable in my mind.
can't get 2 out of the 3 done. I used to say, hey, like he's gonna have his prime to get the playoffs year after year, but no, like
That is strong. That's a strong opinion right there. Strong Opinion Sports is a channel I follow here on YouTube, and that is a strong opinion right there. My dude coming in hot. He said natty or bust for the Ohio State Buckeyes in 2024.
so Benjamin. Here's the thing: I don't know if Will Howard is that guy. I don't know if he is either. But you know what? In Columbus, Buckeye Nation, it's always next man up. So it's
High
either
expectations.
Howard, San, or
Here, Noland, even Devin Brown.
I'm sorry, but Lincoln and Devin Brown, you got to go. You were a
They're
part of a
probably into the
you
portal for
were
sure.
part of
I'm
a class.
sure. I'm sure of it.
You were a part of a class that was out of desperation. Okay, those
Yeah.
were like, okay, I'm gonna fill some spots rather than you are Plan A, and that's it. Like, no,
And we
those
had some plan Bs in there. Devin Brown and Lincoln Keels were kind of those guys. No disrespect to
some
the game. They're
automatically turn.
talented guys. I'm sure they'll find a spot at D1 position,
Yeah,
somewhere, but not at Ohio State. It's not gonna be the Buckeye uniform, not in the scarlet and gray.
but here's the thing, man. Just got too much talent. There's no excuses. There's
Well, I've
none.
said it here first. 2024 national championship or bust.
Boosters are putting out all this money, and you know what? They're gonna grow impatient after this. They're taking out their wallets. They're writing those fat checks with how many zeros?
You,
No, but natty or bust.
I, all I know for sure is if they don't beat Michigan, he's likely gone. Because that would affect the playoff seed. We'd have to host a game, earlier, or maybe even travel to an away game or something like that. But like Bowling Green, I mean, you never know. I mean, MAC programs are great landing spots for former guys. Ben Roethlisberger came out of MAC school, Miami, Ohio. So you never know. Guys like that. Bowling Green's has some great quarterbacks of the past. Some scrambling guys, Omar Jacobs, and some other guys like that I used to play with on NCAA football back in the day. But that's another topic for another day. But actually, on that topic, NCAA football dropped a trailer today, man. I don't know if you played this game growing up or not, but I freaking love the game. I spent way too many hours doing it, so I'm excited for that. But
I played dynasty mode. My freshman running back would win the Heisman 4 straight years.
yes, sir.
We go on a win streak, four straight natties, playing on rookie mode. So yeah,
Got you, man. It's so fun. It's a lot of fun, man. So they dropped a trailer. It's a game officially coming out. So that means I'm buying a PS5 this summer. So yeah, I'm so excited too, Ben. Man, it's gonna be great. Oh, so many memories staying up into the wee hours of the morning, Saturday mornings, and then waking up watching college football itself, then playing more college football and that night. It's how I ran my weekends. And so I'm really excited for the game. But anyway, getting back on track with Ohio State a little bit. There's a couple things that I want to, address that you said. That's interesting that you say Natter bust, and I'm very close to that. I'm not quite there yet, though. I'm just not quite there.
Oh yeah, another
Maybe I'll get there as the offseason continues to roll on, and I see the pressure rising for day.
yeah, another thing. It's February 15th. It is 9:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Justin Fry still has a job. I'm gonna say it each show, every moment that dude not
Who
find
wrote the job?
show every
What's
time.
he doing? I think his job security is probably pretty good at this point. I would have to say.
Oh, Chip joined the squad.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Wasn't so Bill O'Brien was hired to analyze the offensive coaching staff,
Yeah.
figure out who we need that's going to make us the most successful. Did he hire Chip Kelly in that capacity? Do you know if he did? And if so, why does Justin Price still have a job? Tell me what qualifies that dude to have a job right now.
With Judkins and Henderson, they better be averaging 200 yards rushing a game. I'll tell you that much right now. If they're not, Fry needs to go. He probably needs to go this offseason. It's surprising and shocking that he hasn't been let go, to be honest. Our offensive line coach, but that's just the way it is right now. That's the way that day is approaching things. You let go of everybody else. Kindly let go of Urban Meyer's son-in-law, Corey Dennis, and they made the necessary moves. But yeah, that's the kind of, I don't know. I think Fry's job security is probably intact for now. So we'll see how it ends up and how it shakes out. But no, I do appreciate your fire that you're bringing right now, and then out of your bus, bro.
I mean,
Maybe you'll swing me in that argument. I don't know. We'll find out. Um, I personally don't have a whole lot ton more to say, but champ or chump for the week, man. What are you thinking? Who is your champ and who is your chump this week?
and let's see. You know what? I was scrolling past. I came across Miami Hurricane schedule, and the only tough game they have this year is Florida State. So they are my chance. They with all the NIL, with all that talent, they better make a run.
They better freaking go 10-2 at that point for sure. Like bar minimum, like that's your floor.
Yeah, definitely.
What
Uh,
about chump of the week, man? Who is your chump of the week this week? Who deserves that honor?
oh man, honestly,
Top
I'm
chump of the week.
I'm gonna leave that for you. Who's the chump of the week?
The chump of the week, bro. Maybe that's too harsh. I like that Chris Holtmann got fired, but I won't go so far as to call him the chump of the week.
Yeah,
Um, like that's pretty harsh. Like I do like the man. I do like the man, like I said. So, um, uh, no, we'll just skip over that segment for
here's
tonight.
my
But
chump of the week.
yeah,
Here's my
what you got?
week is Justin Fry, and here's why.
Because he's still employed.
He's still employed, and every other coach on that staff has made splashes in the portal, has made
Yeah,
recruiting, and he's a sitting duck right now doing what? Who knows?
who knows what he's doing, man? I know he got Carter Lowe. That's a high 4-star offensive line, but he needs some 5 stars in there, man. Throw some 5 stars on that line. Paris Johnson type players, um, Taylor Decker, Penny Sewell types. We need some guys that are going to make a difference for the offensive line for this elite running back room that we have. We have to make headway in the run game this year. We have to. We did get him. We did get him, Seth McLaughlin.
Hard though.
But he's probably going to play guard for us, not center. You saw how he snapped the ball versus Texas and versus Michigan this year. I don't think he was snapping the ball for Ohio State. He's coming in guard. So
but if you look at the last play against Michigan, it was. I'm sorry, but it was half his fault that that play fell apart.
it sure was, man. Yeah,
But
Mason Graham totally blew him up. He
it
blew him off the ball.
was Milrose's fault too. He didn't
It
foul. All
was.
he had to do was cut to the outside to the way the pulling guard was going. He would have scored. But it's
Well,
all
that's the thing.
the center's fault because it was missnapped, and that takes seconds off the being able to block. I mean, every
It
second.
snapped, and he didn't block Mason Graham to save his life at all. So, and here's the thing on that play: a lot of people didn't realize. I went back and watched it a couple times. All the linebackers fled to the side of the field, and the middle of the field was wide open. So it was 5-on-4, and Alabama still couldn't block it well. So, hey, props to Michigan. They won the game for a reason, but they won the national championship for a reason. I'm starting to accept it. It sucks to accept, but I'm starting to accept the fact. I'm seeing the gear all over town, all over my job, and it's just people rocking all the time, and they don't know who Sean Moore is apparently most of the time. But
Speaking of
as we
Strong,
saw on the students.
have you seen some of the hires he's been making? I mean, other than Martindale,
And the Grok or something like that is not impressed by too many of the hires, and Engelblog they'll put on a happy face for it, and say, "Oh, this is a great hire, celebrate, yes, let's go." When in reality, the situation is not a great hire, man. It's not making these splash hires. Martindale's an NFL guy, so that's great. But these guys are not big names in the world of college football, and that excites me as a Buckeye fan because I don't think they're prepared to move forward in the same way, in the same manner that 21 through 23 was for them.
just got a defensive backs coach from Tennessee.
Oh, yep, yep,
What's his name?
and a Grok or something like that.
Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, we'll see what he does next. I mean, he filled the defensive back spot. Didn't he fill the linebacker position?
I believe so. Not with a guy like James Laurinitis, though.
Isn't Martindale going to coach linebackers too? He's going to be DC/linebackers coach.
Yes, correct. Yes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that transpires for them, man. I just don't think
Good jump of the week.
I just don't think Sean Moore's a guy, I'm going to say that forever, until they fire the man 4 years from now, because I think it'll be within that realm, within a 4 year period that Sean Moore gets canned. So we'll see. But anyway, that's all we got tonight for Buckeyes Battle Cry Live. I hope you guys had a good time tonight. A little bit short of a show tonight, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Ben, thanks for hopping on. Other guys that joined, Landon and Colin, we appreciate you guys joining the chat. And thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're here live every Thursday night, 9:15. A little bit short tonight, but we just wanted to hop on and talk some of the Buckeyes news that's going on in this world, Buckeye fandom and everything. So, Rob, do you got anything before we sign off here tonight?
No, man, not really. I look. Football's done with. What's there to watch? I mean, like this. I'm sorry, but this time of the year it gets kind of depressing, man. I mean, like
It's hard, man. Super
I
Bowl's
don't like
over. No more football.
college basketball. I don't really like the NBA. I
And
don't watch hockey. I mean, I don't get into pro baseball. So for me, like this stretch, it's like,
yeah, it's a tough one.
man,
It's even longer for you because it's 7 months. I got EPL, Premier League football. I do enjoy the Red Wings hockey. Don't get a lot of that on YouTube TV, but that's okay. I do enjoy the NBA when the NBA is good. I do enjoy college basketball when Ohio State is good. But right now, it's going to be a long off season. So that's why I'm buying NCAA college football. And I'm going to rock that thing until it goes freaking breaks my PS5. So thanks for joining on tonight. Thanks again, Rob. We had a good time with you, man. You have a
definitely.
good night and rest up well. And you have a good Friday, okay? We'll see
You
you.
too, bro. All right, later.
Yeah, baseball soon, too. Later.
All right.